Welcome, LJ, back with a new kind of spiritual exercise that I discovered and I think is really powerful and even easy, I think, for a lot of us to play with. So I want to share it with you. Are you ready? And it's one that you can do. Really, I think we could do it even if we had our eyes open, even if we were just kind of thinking about it as we went about other activities. But it's also something we can play with in a formal meditation sense. So I'll give you a moment. So I got this one from this teacher, Bentinho Massaro, which I've mentioned on some recent videos. And, I really love to realize that I'm always sharing from what I'm learning from other people a lot of the time, right? A lot of my learning is happening from my study with other teachers, right? Whether or not I'm a teacher myself. And that a lot of my teachings are inspired by other people's teachings, right? Like, I love that about this approach. So, this is from Bentinho, but he says that what we could do is imagine, perhaps, that there's another version of us next to us, right? So, pretend there's another you next to you. And pretend, imagine, think about, get into this idea that this other version of you is a version that's super connected, right? Really calm, like the embodiment of peace. Maybe your most aligned version, most spiritually connected version of you. So just like seeing that, feeling that version of you as if it could be right next to you, right? And then bringing in this idea that we could kind of lovingly compare how we're feeling, how we're holding ourselves, how we're thinking, how we're being to that version of us, right? And what's the vibrational difference? So this definitely brings in our non-judgment as we take a look at that, right? And I notice for me too, as I play with this, there's often a big difference, right? So then the playful invitation is to choose to embody more that version of ourselves, right? And that even we could start our day like stepping into the shoes of the person that we choose to be, right? And that, yes, I like to see it as it's a version of us, right? And it's still uniquely us. And then if we see that and that how we feel is one of those great indicators for how aligned we are with that version of us. So I like this playful, powerful invitation that we can do that exercise. Imagine that version of us next to us. Check out what is the vibrational difference between me and that version of me right now. And then play with embodying that more, right? Getting into the vibration, the feeling, like how would we be holding ourselves even in our bodies? And I don't know about you, but for me, that usually means a lot more relaxing. As much as I talk about relaxing, there's always more to go, right? And maybe more smiling and maybe more laughing. And much less the mental thought shifts that go with that version of me, right? In the imagining that's different in that version of me. And the ways I'm responding to others is different, right? Which is one of our big reasons I know to do all of this, if not for our own experience, right? To improve, enhance, strengthen our abilities to respond with love, right? Maybe that's just the more loving version of us. And what would it take to be more that version and to choose that version? And maybe it is just a choice, right? And maybe it is just an embodiment and a play and a practice, right, of deciding to align with that version of us and bring that to the world, right? So, yes, I love it and hope that's helpful for you along your journey. And thank you to Bentinho for bringing that exercise so specifically through in some of his videos. And yeah, hoping that could be a new tool for you to align more with who you want to be, how you want to be in the world. And, I love to share that this is like how we can be tuning ourselves with these practices, and how that's really like what yoga is, right? Union, connection, aligning with that version of ourselves, right? On purpose, by choice, and how our different practices help us do that, right? So, yes, loving you guys and super thankful to share along my journey. Talk to you soon. Namaste.